Live. Now, the Congress party has hit out extremely hard at the charges made by the Gujarat government SIT against Teesta Setalvad, where specifically the name of the former Congress leader Ahmed Patel have been mentioned, and the SIT claims that there were financial transactions involving Ahmed Patel as well as Teesta Setalvad, and that money to the tune of rupees 30 lakhs was paid to Mr. Setalvad on the instructions of Mr. Ahmed Patel, who's now no more. But this was, of course, in the context of the 2002 riots, and that this money was not in fact paid for relief purposes. That was a separate fund on its own, and this was all done in order to eventually maliciously prosecute the then Gujarat government in power that was led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Congress party has hit out hard at the claims made by the SIT, saying that these are nothing but a bunch of manufactured claims on the part of the SIT, that this was also an attempt on the part of Mr. Modi, they claim, to absolve himself of what transpired in 2002, and that this was a desperate bid to place the blame on a deceased individual like Mr. Ahmed Patel. Let me go across to Shireen for more on this. Shireen, if you could just take us through the detailed statement that's now been put out by Jairam Ramesh of the Congress party, hitting out at the allegations leveled by the SIT.
Absolutely, and not just the SIT but also against the BJP government. It is in fact a one-page statement that has in fact been released by Jairam Ramesh, saying that this is a mischievous manufactured allegation against Sri Ahmed Patel, and it is in fact very sad that he himself is in fact not present here to defend himself, and also goes on to say how these SIT agencies, or for all the agencies in the country at this moment, are nothing but puppet investigative agencies, and also says that it was in fact the then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee who had reminded the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Narendra Modi, about the Raj Dharma. Why is that not being highlighted? Apart from that, says that this is nothing but a wild allegation that is being made by the SIT. Now, the same sentiments are being echoed by the family of Ahmed Patel as well, asking the timing of this allegation. They believe that if such a big conspiracy was being done by late Ahmed Patel, then why is it that it has in fact come out now? Why is that the revelation being done now? Why was this not done 2 years back? This is nothing but a tantrum, a tactic by the present government. Seeing the Gujarat election is the allegation that is being put by the family, and similarly the Congress media in charge Jairam Ramesh also says that this is in fact nothing but fabricated, manufactured and wild allegation that is being put by the puppet investigative agency of the BJP government.
Right, Shireen. In fact, let me take this across to Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan as well. Madhav, a series of scathing allegations made in the affidavit submitted by the SIT, including the rewarding of the Padma Shri to Teesta Setalvad, allegedly for trying to falsely and maliciously prosecute the then Gujarat government in power. All these charges, of course, being dismissed outright by the Congress party.
Well, absolutely. And in fact, in its statement, the Congress party has gone a step further and has in fact questioned the fact that the SIT, they allege, is dancing to the tune of its political master and will sit wherever it is told to. The statement goes on to say that we know how an earlier SIT chief was rewarded with a diplomatic assignment after he had given a quote-unquote clean chit to the chief minister. Ostensibly referring to, it appears that the entire SIT itself is being drawn into the entire political storm with the decision-making process of the SIT. The Congress very clearly, in fact, alleging over here, has been vitiated, and the investigation happening purely with political intent. This is, while not using the same word, the implication is that this is some kind of a malicious prosecution or a witch hunt that is being engaged in. Nevertheless, of course, this entire reaction is not entirely unexpected. It is a fact that Mr. Ahmed Patel is not there, but the fact that Ahmed Patel is being targeted after his death is being highlighted, as Shireen was saying, by both the Congress party as well as, in fact, the family members of Ahmed Patel. At the same time, of course, the charges of the SIT are very, very serious, because they have come out to allege that money exchanged hands between Ahmed Patel as well as Teesta Setalvad. At the same time, they've also said that whether it was tutoring witnesses, whether it was in some way or the other, influencing the course of the legal procedures, all of that, Teesta Setalvad was very clearly involved. involved in. So very, very important revelations are coming out from the SIT side at the same time, or claims coming out from the SIT side, if you will. But at the same time, the massive political war that has broken out with the Congress coming out to target the SIT as well as the BJP for all of these charges.
Right.